Dear India after 2012, when a young female veterinarian was gang raped and burnt to ashes, you watched news anchors name her over and over again. When doctored footage of her death emerged, you trended it on porn sites. When her rapists were shot dead in an encounter, you celebrated while still asking what she was wearing that night. I can guarantee you that every major newspaper will carry a story about rape every week, if not every day, and these stories almost never make it to the front page because the worst part of your rape culture is its overwhelming familiarity. Even worse, the thoughtless, exploitative, and imprudent narratives of your sexual violence fuel your rape culture. You read, see, and hear about rape everywhere. It is as ubiquitous as it is unchecked. You consume rape as a phenomenon on national television, exploiting the trauma caused by sexual violence for ratings, parliamentary seats, nationalist rhetoric, and 5 minutes on a local news show. I speak of rape and sexual assault, but what about the other forms of violence women suffer from? There are so many experiences of violence that never make it to the public discourse because they occur in the domestic space, where predatory masculinity reigns supreme. Unseen violence is domestic abuse, marital rape, female genital mutilation, emotional abuse, and dating violence. Why don't you make the domestic political when you insist on making everything else political anyway? Here I am, angry that you don't talk enough about sexual violence, and yet I'm also angry when you do talk about rape. My grief and fury comes from how you consume rape, how you spread gory details of sexual assault and exploit rape as a political and cultural tool to satisfy your lust for the pain of others. You've never tried to understand the pain of Aruna Shanbog, or Hetal Parekh, or Suzette Jordan, or Soni Sori, or Manoranga Thamjam. All you saw was an act of senseless violence, and then you switched off the television. When you treat your daughters as second class citizens, when you would rather discuss ways to keep women at home than deconstruct your rape culture, when you glorify the Kabir Singhs and Arjun Reddys of the world, when you've treated individuals as commodities, from Godhra to Manipur, from Bagpat to Modasa Taluka, when you scream on primetime television about which religion a rapist followed, when your elected officials are the poster boys for toxic and dangerous patriarchy, when no woman wants to be your fucking daughter. India, you repulse me. Jyoti means light. I was 13 when she started a revolution in my world. When I first saw rape being discussed in my house, in my school, in my space, it felt like the whole universe was weeping with grief and rage. She was given many names, her story retold many times. Candle lights were lit, posters were painted, and she was mourned. But her pain was not yours to gleefully consume. It was never yours in the first place. Searching for an India that heals, Sakshi.